Yo, what's up, everyone? This is the Wings and Things podcast. Here with your hosts, Josh, Matt, and Mike, of course, to the right of me. We're here during the hurricane, man. Hurricane Dorian, Category 5. Shit's popping off down here. Put up my shutters today. We got 5 categories, things to talk about. Of course, we're going to hit football. We're going to hit some fantasy, and just some shit that's trending on Twitter. So let's get started with a little bit of fuck, marry, kill. Like to get your guys' opinion on a couple players, some running backs. Chris Carson for the Seahawks, Kerryon Johnson, Detroit Lions, they always blow, and Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers. Matt, who are you fucking? Who are you marrying? Who are you killing?
All right, this one I already have pretty much nailed down. I'm going to fuck Aaron Jones. I think he's one of the more sexier picks. He has the upside to keep me up. Marrying Chris Carson, the guys, I think he's the number one value at running back in the entire draft. Top 10 running back easily. You can get him in rounds 5, 6. He's just not sexy like Aaron Jones is. That's why I'm going to marry Chris Carson. I want to marry not the hottest girl, the girl who's really, underappreciated. I'm going to kill Kerryon. Just get bad vibes. I know he's pretty popular in the fantasy community, but he just does not cut it for me. I just don't trust the Lions running game as of now. So I'm going to roll with Aaron Jones. Fuck him because of the upside.
All right.
Marry Carson. Steady Eddie. Don't have to worry about nothing.
He's like the high school girl that
that blossoms.
Yeah, that you kept your eye on.
Yeah.
You kept your eye on Chris Carson. You saw him blossom, turn into a full woman, maybe grew some tits.
Yeah, you wanted to like Chris Carson, but you were too worried about your other buddies making fun of you for liking Chris Carson, so you kind of like...
Now Chris Carson's like a CNA, bringing in like $15 an hour, and you're trying to like... I hear you.
So I'm going to kill Kerryon Johnson just because I'm just not putting stock in a Detroit running back.
Don't blame you. Mike, what you got going on, bro?
I was thinking this was more of a literal game. I was actually thinking about which one I would actually really want to fuck. Which one I really want to actually kill. So I'm going to take that approach here. Just bear with me here.
Oh my God, yeah.
I would definitely fuck Kerryon. He's probably the younger one.
Yeah.
The bigger pump.
Oh my God.
I would kill Aaron Jones.
You don't like his hair?
Something about that turd locks he's got. And I would marry Chris Carson. It's simple. To me, this is a no-brainer.
Oh my God. You kept the G there, man. I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, I think I'm a huge Chris Carson fan. I got to be honest. I have some Aaron Jones shares. So Aaron Jones is on my fantasy squad. I don't like to cheat on him, but in all honesty, I'd probably marry Chris Carson. I just think he's safe. You ride it out with him. Maybe put a little bit of money in your 401k. Aaron Jones is more of a one-night stand kind of guy, and that's just how I am as a fantasy owner. He's the type of guy that I'd like to bang out. And hopefully he can ride with me for just a season. I'm just asking for a year with the guy. You know what I mean? I'm in agreement with Matt on this one. I'm killing Kerryon. I'm grabbing him out of Detroit, dropping him off Cocoa Beach, Category 5 Hurricane.
Right.
See ya.
I mean, you got to think, when's the last time Detroit had a solid fantasy running back?
I mean, honestly, the Detroit head coach looks like you.
Seriously.
You look like Matt Patricia with that beard.
Listen.
It's disgusting.
Who was their running back from Detroit? Jones? Kevin Jones?
Kevin Jones is the last relevant running back in Detroit.
Carter O'Hara.
I mean, the list goes on. LeGarrette Blount last year, terrible. He's boarding up
Amir
houses down here. He doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
He's putting up shutters, collecting a couple $100. Amir Abdullah was a complete bust. You just can't put any stock. You can't put any faith in a Detroit running back. I don't care. And not to mention, at Auburn, the kid was always hurt. And I mean, Aaron Jones has an injury history. Chris Carson has an injury history. But I'll roll out with Seattle. I'll ride out with Green Bay.
Exactly.
Nix me on Detroit. Matt, Patricia, I don't have any faith in what you guys got
So
going.
you
Carryon.
kind of different approach this answer. I do agree with you guys on football stance that I would definitely kill him in a fantasy football. So I would definitely fuck him if we were talking about real life though.
He's probably he's probably the highest paid. You got Chris Carson was like a late round pick, Aaron Jones late round pick. So if you're trying to get in with somebody here, it's probably Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, Kerryon Johnson for sure. If you really want to set up your future.
Speaking of which, on Twitter today, trending, my sex tape would look like. Would your sex tape include Kerryon Johnson? If so, how would that play out? or are you changing that shit up?
The whole my sex tape I haven't heard about it until this morning, so I'm really kind of confused. I guess so. The whole thing is if you had a sex tape that you didn't know about out there.
Yeah, why don't we? I'll explain it to everybody that's watching.
To me and everybody else that's watching.
So on Twitter today, trending, my sex tape would look like. People are just tweeting, hey, if I had a sex tape. And first of all, that's bullshit, because I can tell you straight up that most people probably have sex tapes. You went on a vacation at some point, you were with your girl for a couple years, you might have, just taped her as she was sucking your dick, something like, you know what I mean? Everybody's got a little something on their old phone. You got like that old Metro phone. You got a little something on there. You might whip it out when you're bored, lonely one night.
This is actually a true story. It was actually the last time I got laid back in March. I'm on a little drought. I was at Universal Resort with my family, and I was with this chick in a hot tub. Like 4 in the morning, hot tub was closed. The hot tub was like elevated above the pool, but it was right next to a big wall of condos. So I know for a fact that if anybody went out there and smoked a cigarette, they could easily see me. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not there wheelbarrowing something.
Wait, so are you insinuating that someone may have recorded you?
May have recorded it, yes.
I didn't even think of it that way. Like if you were caught in the act and someone was recording you and you didn't know, so you couldn't even put on for the camera.
From the balcony? They were probably filming you?
Yes.
They probably thought it was lesbian. They didn't see your micro dick.
Bro, they would have had it 10,
If I the same shit, he ain't shit.
Some guy probably beat off thinking it's like 2 hot lesbians in there.
My phone's on 10%. My phone's on 10% anywhere.
With a fucking bandana.
Yeah. Well, dude probably thought it was lesbian porn. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
So I guess that's the best answer I got for you.
What about
Trying
you,
to think
Matt?
outside the box.
My sex tape, it's non-existent. You gotta have sex to have a tape.
They didn't have cameras.
I don't have sex or I don't have any tape. I do have duct tape. But
You got like
I don't
a
have
sex
sketch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I quit sex. It's overrated. I don't have it anymore, and I'm cool with that. Next topic.
It's not funny because it's actually tuned.
No shot.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, what's the next topic though?
I didn't even provide an answer, so I don't think I need to.
I don't want to hear what your sex tape will look like. You're fucking drinking piss, dude. We already know you're a fucking serial killer.
I was going to say, dude. Actually, this is ginger ale and spiced rum.
No ice?
Nope, no ice. I keep it warm. Keep it warm like this. I keep it warm like this, and this would be in my sex tape. You're correct. It would start off
like mosquito larvae in there.
Fucking disgusting.
It would start off with a golden shower, and we'll just end it at that. If you guys are still watching me at this point, then you're fucked up.
Yeah, you're. I want to know what your sex tape would be like.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Like,
Subscribe and leave your fucking comments on your sex tape.
I'm sure we have all sexual predators watching this. Yeah. Just sit in their basement and they're trying to win their office fantasy football league.
This is not a question for our target audience.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to stick on the topic of fuck, marry, kill. We hit the running backs. Now we're going to head to some wide receivers. Now, these guys all have upside, and they're kind of all going in the same area in most fantasy drafts. But we got Big Mike Williams, the Chargers, Calvin Ridley, Atlanta Falcons, and DJ Moore, Carolina Panthers. Matt, I'm going to shoot it over to you again. Who you fucking, who you marrying, who you going to kill?
All right, I'm going to kill Mike Williams because even though Keenan Allen is injury prone, a little banged up now, I'm a big believer in touchdown regression, and the guy had, 12 TDs. Mm-hmm. If Keenan Allen gets hurt, I think that really won't benefit him much in a way. So with that being said, I just think his touchdowns are going to regress. And I look just like the other Moore guys better. I'm going to buck Calvin Ridley. He had 800 yards last year. Julio Jones is Julio Jones. He's not going to get any double coverage. A big play guy. I'm way more comfortable rolling out a big play guy rather than a touchdown dependent guy.
I hear you.
And I'm going to marry DJ Moore. The worst passing defenses in the NFL last year. Bucks, Saints, and Falcons.
Yeah.
And the division's just so easy.
NFC South is a fucking joke.
And that's also why I'm going to not kill Calvin Ridley because of the division he plays in also. So I think DJ Moore has a little bit more upside, has more of a complete game. He can run short routes, long routes too, good after the catch. His break tackle ability is elite for that position. So I think I'm just going to marry DJ Moore.
All right, solid. Mike, what you got going on now? Wait a minute. Before we get into Mike's analysis, Mike actually owns two of these guys in the fantasy league that we're in. He's got Mike Williams and Calvin Ridley. So to hear him have to pick who he's fucking, who he's marrying here, this is from the heart.
Well, this is from the heart. You're supposed to be giving these people good fucking advice. But off the bat, I'm killing DJ Moore. Look at the quarterback situation compared to Ridley and Mike Williams.
Great.
You got Cam Newton, who's been the most overrated quarterback ever. He's got a workhorse Christian McCaffrey. And Steve Smith, his wide receiver coach, isn't even starting him on his own fantasy team. It's just embarrassing. The dude's 5'10", and he had a halfway decent year last year. Okay? Case closed. I'm going to marry Calvin Ridley. Young player. Matt Ryan isn't slowing down. Obviously sign Julio Jones, who's going to be probably the best wide receiver this year. He's going to have Mohamed Sanu in the slot. I mean, single coverage all day, every day. And then I'm going to fuck Big Mike. They call him Big Mike for a reason. I think he's young enough. He's young enough. He's got a small sample size, a touchdown regression. What if he has touchdown progression? We don't know if this guy could have 15 touchdowns next year or keep him within 10. So for that reason, I think despite DJ Moore's big play ability, I don't think he's going to have as many targets. So that's my answer right there, and that's some good advice.
Respect it, bro. You kept the G there. I had a feeling you were going to, fucking marry your boys. But I got to agree with Mike on this one. I am absolutely killing DJ Moore. Cam Newton, I agree, is overrated. With that being said, they also have Curtis Samuel there. I'm high on him this year. I don't know who's going to emerge as a receiver in Carolina. DJ Moore was a first-round pick, stud at Maryland, could turn out to be a really great player. But Curtis Samuel was a stud at Ohio State. He was taken in the second round. He's coming into his third year. All the reports out of camp say that Curtis Samuel's been the more impressive receiver. So I'm killing DJ Moore. This is my recommendation. If you're going to invest in the Carolina Panthers receiving game, outside of McCaffrey, that is, why not spend a later pick on Curtis Samuel than investing in that mid-round pick on DJ Moore? They both have relatively the same upside. So that would be my recommendation. As far as who I'm fucking and who I'm marrying, this is a little difficult because both these guys are playing second fiddle in their respective offense. But I'm going to agree with Mike. I'm going to fuck Mike Williams. And again, this kind of goes back to what I said with Aaron Jones. Mike Williams probably has the most upside. He's the type of guy that can go out there and reel in 2-3 touchdowns in a game simply because he's such a red zone target. So I fuck with Mike Williams. I like him, especially because Keenan Allen always has injuries, and I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen this year. He already has an ankle injury. And then I will marry Calvin Ridley. Julio Jones also has a history of ankle and foot injuries. If for whatever reason Julio Jones misses any time, Calvin Ridley becomes a wide receiver one. And even outside of that, we know that Atlanta likes to throw the ball. Devontae Freeman is hobbled. Wouldn't touch him at all. No Tevin Coleman. They're going to air it out. If you think Mohamed Sanu and Austin Hooper are threats, stop watching this video. because you're not going to win your fantasy league. Those guys fucking suck.
Yes.
I like Calvin Ridley a lot this year. I think he's a guy that I would target in the middle rounds. With that being said, because he's on your team, fuck Calvin Ridley and fuck you.
Yeah.
He blows. I wouldn't trade you anyone for him, but that's who I'm marrying.
Why I really want to marry DJ Moore, like you said, the other two guys are clearly second fiddle. DJ Moore is the only guy on this list who has the potential and the ability to emerge as the team's true number one wide receiver. So based off that ceiling, I think it's obvious to go with DJ Moore. The best case scenario for the other two guys they're still the number two on their teams. Whereas DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, you can get late. That's why I like Curtis Samuel, because he also has a chance to be the team's true number one. So with that upside that DJ Moore brings.
DJ Moore, more like DJ Snore.
And it all comes down to Cam Newton's health too, right? Because he had the shoulder injury last year. He got hurt in the preseason already, walking in a walking boot. But I got to keep it real at this point. I don't want my quarterback dressed in female clothing. So,
wow, you're getting so edgy.
Fuck Cam Newton. So, fucking kill DJ Moore.
Wow.
He's another one. Send him out to Cocoa Beach.
Put him in a fucking game team.
Cat 5. See ya.
Louis style.
See ya.
All right.
All right, let's switch it up here. Let's get into another topic, man. Enough on those fucking bum wide receivers. We're going to get into a little bit of rapid fire. And here's the thing. I got to be honest, we prepared a little bit for this show. So I got some topics here that we're going to hit rapid fire where I just name either a player or a situation, and then these guys are going to give me some analysis for what it's worth. Don't listen to them. They fucking suck. But we're going to start off with you, Matt, and we're going to do some rapid fire and Popeye's chicken sandwich or Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
All right, so McDonald's McChicken with only cheese, pickles, and mayo. I've had that sandwich over 300 times in my life, and that's not an exaggeration.
That wasn't even an option.
So I'm going with the McChicken. Fuck Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. Fuck Chick-fil-A. Overrated. The customers are too nice. It's weird. It's freaky. I get a whole fucking Twilight Zone vibe every time I go there. I don't go there for that reason because nobody is that fucking nice. I respect it. But McChicken all day or any chicken sandwich, and I'll put that on my fucking gravestone.
Last time I went to McDonald's with this motherfucker in the drive-thru, he was in fucking Crocodile too. He's like,
it's so fucking dumb, man. I said a small Sunday.
so maybe you need some more fucking Chick-fil-A in your fucking life.
Keeping it real though, like I had a Sunday for the first time about a month ago from McDonald's, and I think the reason why is because whenever I go to McDonald's, the ice cream machine is broken. Like when you go there, you can't get ice cream. Like it's almost a secret option on the menu. With that being said, the fact that you put pickles and mayonnaise on your McChicken, you called me a serial killer for drinking piss.
Yeah,
dude, kill yourself. Fuck, marry, kill.
Well, listen, you gotta remember the Popeyes chicken sandwich has pickles, the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich has pickles, so pickles go with chicken sandwiches. Mayo, not a lot of people like the mayo. I like white condiments. I like the ranch.
Shocker.
I like the blue cheese.
Yay.
I like the mayonnaise.
Right.
I love, what's another white one? Horseradish. I love it all.
Listen, we're going off the rails here, okay?
Semen. Cum. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Whatever. You name it. I like it.
I've never had the Popeye sandwich. I'm not going to wait in line for it.
Really? Because you look like you make Popeye sandwiches.
Yes, you look like you make Popeye sandwiches.
You look like
for fun, for free.
Yes, I make better chicken sandwiches at my job for free. You know, so why am I going to go shit myself in line for 45 minutes for a fast food one? I'm a fucking fried cook at a bar and grill. Why the fuck do I want a fast food chicken sandwich when I can drop one right now?
Stop it. All right, let me give some input on this. First of all, I never gave McDonald's as an option, but I will say, if money's tight, right? Like, if you're counting change and you need to get a chicken sandwich, I actually agree with Matt, but I do it a little bit differently. Now, I fuck with getting some cheese on my McChicken. I get it plain, no lettuce. Lettuce is for rabbits. You don't eat that shit. Mayonnaise, you're a psychopath.
Mayonnaise, you got
what is wrong with mayo?
The chicken's too dry, especially the McChicken. First off, it's not even chicken. It's like processed fucking whatever it is. So you need some fucking ranch.
I'm gonna hit you with that, bro. I get the hot mustard, which is an OG classic.
Hot mustard.
Bro, the McDonald's discontinued it. It had so much feedback.
Because it was probably giving his fucking customers cancer.
That's because 100 people that actually liked it signed a petition to bring it back.
They brought it back though. So you get the McChicken with cheese, and you dip a little hot mustard on that.
Nobody eats mustard and ketchup. If you're above the age of 12,
you don't eat mustard or
mustard.
As Theo says, ketchup is for 8-year-olds. The economists have evolved. Theo nailed that. Ketchup is, if you're using ketchup, and shout out to my sister, she still eats ketchup on mac and cheese.
That's disgusting.
Fucking
bro.
steak.
That's disgusting. Have a home.
I love you, Tara, but you have to evolve as a foodie.
As a human being.
As
really.
a human
As a
being.
human
You
being.
can't eat ketchup.
If you're putting ketchup on mac and cheese, you have you probably have a mental disability.
Well, what's
It
worse?
may be a physical handicap. That's the
Pineapple
only thing that
pizza?
you can squeeze. Mayo, you have to get out of the jar, right?
Yeah.
So if you're physically handicapped, mayo is probably not an option for you. You got to go with the ketchup.
I disagree.
Yeah. Well, no, they have the squeezies.
Oh, they got the squeeze.
They got the Howdy's. They got the Howdy's.
Have you ever been to a freaking grocery store?
Dude,
This guy.
like we're all from New Jersey. I moved to Florida for a reason. Grocery stores are miles and miles away. Anyway, let me answer the question. But just between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, I'm in the same boat as Mike. I have not had the opportunity to taste the Popeyes chicken sandwich. With that being said, I attempted to do it. I pulled up. The drive-thru was fucking crazy. It was like Best Buy on Black Friday. I yeeted out of there quick as shit, bro. Unless you're giving away flat screen TVs, I ain't waiting for a chicken sandwich. But I fuck with Chick-fil-A on the heavy. They're just, you hate on them?
No,
They're being too courteous?
The sandwiches are great. In all honesty, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, you gotta go Chick-fil-A. It is the best chicken sandwich out there. If I can ever find one, the people are too nice.
What do you mean they're too nice? Have you ever went to Chick-fil-A and got creeped out by somebody being
Yes,
nice?
they're just way too fucking nice. It felt fake. I don't know what it was. I can't really explain it.
It's called their job.
They're great. They are great. They're all going to heaven no matter what they do after their Chick-fil-A careers. No matter what they fucking do, every Chick-fil-A employee is going to heaven. But I'm just saying,
You're going to fucking hell.
they're all fucking far. The drive-thrus are so fucking long.
That is true.
I'm just going to go to get the milkshake.
Yeah. I'm keeping it G.
All right.
If you go to
Can't go
Popeyes,
wrong.
you probably support Hillary Clinton or
Seriously.
Joe or Bernie Sanders.
Let's
You
go
go
get
to
political
Chick-fil-A.
here, guys.
What I'm saying is you go to Chick-fil-A, you know, the dude bringing you up might vote for Donald Trump, so I'm going to go with Chick-fil-A.
Whoa. You just lost probably half of our target audience. Right?
Never get political.
You're fired. Anyway, rapid fire, let's get back to the fantasy talk. But that's why people are tuning in, because they clearly
They need
look,
help.
they look at Matt and Mike, they think these are guys that make good decisions in their life, and they probably do really well in fantasy, and that's the furthest from the truth. But
they need us.
rapid fire, we all know LaShawn McCoy, breaking news, if you don't have the internet or don't have a phone, Kansas City signed LaShawn McCoy today. How do you feel about the Kansas City running back situation?
So obviously I'm not going to pick Damian Williams anywhere before round 7, honestly. And that's a little...
It's harsh.
It's harsh, but he's going to be in a full-on committee, obviously. It's clear that the front office don't want him to be the guy. They don't even want him... I really don't think they want him to be the number 2 guy. I'd rather have Darwin Thompson than Damian Williams. I know I had Darwin Thompson in my season long, but, I mean, listen, the guy is way better than Damian Williams in every aspect of football. It's clear. Go to YouTube and watch the tapes. Tell me who's a better player. I think it's not an ideal situation, but I'm honestly just going to ignore McCoy. I'm going to ignore Williams, and I'm just going to take a late round flyer on Darwin Thompson because I think he's the best back.
There's always a fucking Darwin Thompson truther in the group. Mike, hit me with some reality, bro.
Okay.
Drop them, drop them wings.
Here's the situation here. LaShawn McCoy is going to win next year's NFL Comeback Player of the Year. You heard it from here first.
Whoa.
All right. Let me tell you why.
Well,
Because you're drunk.
because you're high.
Because you're drunk and high.
You're wearing a bandana.
One day you're a star in Philadelphia, and then you wake up in fucking Buffalo in a rebuild.
Was that before or after he assaulted a female on his party bus?
Yeah. Now, I've never been to Buffalo, so I can't trash Buffalo, but 99% of the people have never been to Buffalo, and that's not a coincidence. 3, he gets to reunite with his fucking former coach. He's only 31 years old, and they're paying him more than whoever Damian Williams Dorian is. So you have the best offense in the league with a running back who, say what you want, his resume and what he's done
This speaks for itself.
just you can't compare. And this Darwin Thompson thing, Damian Williams at least has scored an NFL touchdown. You know, I know he's a rookie and hasn't played a real game yet, but I know what LaShawn McCoy is at this point in his career, and he's not done yet. And if you put him 15 carries a day behind Patrick Mahomes with a familiar coach and a new fresh start, you go from Philadelphia to fucking Buffalo to Kansas City where you went from a rebuild to a Super Bowl contender, I think that in itself is enough motivation for him just to be the guy. Because I'm sorry, Damian fucking Williams and Darwin's dipping. He's buying it. Don't buy it. Sell the Darwin dip. All right? It's fucking over. LaShawn McCoy, he's going to have a pretty good year. I'm telling you that right now. And that's why I'm on the shady train. If you have your draft, I would take him first over any other
City back.
Yes.
Yeah. This is difficult for me because statistics show that in an Andy Reid offense over the past 12 seasons, either Philadelphia or Kansas City has produced a running back one in 10 out of those 12 years. So someone's going to emerge here. But LaShawn McCoy's 31 years old. Damian Williams has never had more than 50 carries in a single season. He's 27 years old. Was literally cut by the Miami Dolphins, who are the dredges of society in the NFL right now. They're fucking terrible. Mm-hmm. And then Darwin Thompson, small school, late round draft pick. He has a little bit of upside, but now he's 3rd on the depth chart. I just stay away from the Kansas City backfield. I know that's kind of a cop-out, but
Who offers the best value according to their current AD grade?
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Mike, do you love McCoy?
I don't.
Where do you draft him in the season-long league today? What round? In the 12-man league?
Well, David Williams is going what? 4th round now?
No.
3rd, 4th?
I imagine his
After
ADP
this,
is 6th round.
Before the shady news.
before the shady news, the 3rd round.
So
You can't take him there. That's
no.
So if
that's
Shady's the NFL Comeback Player of the Year, where do you draft him?
I would spend an 8th round pick on him.
And what do you project his stats to be?
If he stays healthy and they're not going to give him a lot of carries. I think Andy Reid knows him well. I think if he gets 15 touches a game, I think he can score close to 8 to 10 touchdowns and have 1,000 total yards.
I think Gronkowski or Andrew Luck, they have a better chance of getting Comeback Player of the Year than fucking Shady McCoy.
Yeah. Who's your candidate this year for NFL Comeback Player of the Year?
Well, we
You
have
have
another
one?
category. We
You
have
have
another
one?
category.
Who do you got in your mind? He can't even think of a goddamn player.
Devontae Freeman.
Nope.
Who you got? Alright, so there you have it.
Well, look, I'm going to piggyback kind of on what Mike's saying. All these guys, you can't draft Damian Williams where he's been being drafted. His ADP is going to take a huge slide. But before McCoy signed, I wasn't buying into Damian Williams' hype. LaShawn McCoy, if you can get him, I mean, when he was with Buffalo, you could get him in the 8th round. I think that's probably where he's still being drafted. So I'm cool with taking McCoy there just because of the upside of playing in that system with Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Whoever's getting the ball in that backfield is going to produce.
He had some games in Buffalo where he was decent. Just imagine him in that offense.
With that being said, your best bet, if you have to buy in some stock in the Kansas City backfield, it still might be Darwin Thompson. Simply because he's got the freshest legs and
He's the best pass blocker out of all.
we'll see what happens, dude. Fuck Kansas City. Let's move on to the next thing here. Duke Johnson, and a little bit earlier we mentioned how Mike has some stock in Mike Williams and Calvin Ridley. Duke Johnson is on Matt's roster in our fantasy league. So, again, we'll kick it to Matt, and we'll have him hype up Duke Johnson, who's been a mediocre running back his entire life. But give us, roll out the red carpet. How you feel about Duke?
Mediocre, he averages 4.8 yards a carry. I don't really think that's mediocre. Now, a lot of people here like to bash on his lack of volume that he has had in his career so far with the 0-16 Browns. I mean, the guy had 90 targets one year playing on a team. The quarterback was Hogan from Stanford a couple games.
Who? Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan from Stanford was the quarterback. Hugh Jackson era. 1 win in 2 years. And this guy's averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Isaiah Crowell was the bell cow for that team, and he produced. And I think Duke would have easily produced more if he was given that same chance. Now he's at Houston, better offensive line, better quarterback. It's easy. It's just a great situation. Lamar Miller's not hurt. This is his first time he's going to be a featured back. Carlos Hyde,
yeah,
the guy got cut by Jacksonville last year.
After the
He can't stick on a team. Carlos Hyde's not going to be a factor. He might be a goal line back at best. But Duke Johnson's going to be a guy who's going to easily have 1,200 all-purpose yards. Easy.
Mike, what are your thoughts on the Duke?
That 90, what do you have?
90 targets in 2017.
Their quarterback couldn't throw the ball 15 fucking yards, so of course they're going to check it down to the running back. Who was their wide receiver? Who's taking the top? Check down. You got Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and a whole lot of receivers now. Deshaun Watson is better than any quarterback they ever played with. That's going to actually, I hate to say it's going to hurt him. He's not going to check down a lot in that offense. He's just not. They're not going to be down 20 points every game like he was that year in Cleveland.
That's going to be
and the fact that he's getting his first opportunity is only because the other guy got hurt. He's not a true workhorse running back. I like his skill set, but if you want to draft him as a number 2 running back, thanks for the fucking donation.
Well, you got to think Houston invested a lot to get him even before Lamar Miller got hurt.
True.
So they're going to use him.
I think with Duke Johnson, and here's the thing, me and Matt had a discussion before our league's fantasy draft, and I said Duke Johnson is a guy I would take in like round 7 or 8, and that was before the Lamar Miller injury. So he definitely has more upside now with Lamar getting hurt. With that being said, I'm stuck in the middle between Matt and Mike here because
it's not a safe spot.
It's not safe at all. It's not safe at all. I agree with the opportunity presentation that Matt's putting forward, that Duke Johnson is the guy there. But I also agree with what Mike's saying is that he's not a workhorse back. He's not a 3-down guy. And the telling thing is, if you look, Deshaun Watson has dumped the ball off to his running back less than any other quarterback in the NFL. He's more prone to run the ball himself than to check it off to his running back. So with that being said, Lamar Johnson's a guy that I would be comfortable with as my 3rd running back. Duke Johnson. It's the piss, guys. It's the piss. Lamar look. Lamar Miller, Duke Johnson, they both went to the same school. They both really have underachieved in the NFL. But yeah, Duke Johnson's a guy that I'm comfortable with as kind of like a flex 3rd running back. I feel like he's shot up in ADP. I see people ranking him as like 23rd, 24th running back. I don't see that upside. I think if you're playing in a PPR league, he's definitely got some value. In a standard league, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think he's going to get goal line carries. So with that being said, Duke Johnson is a guy that I would draft in the right situation, but not someone that I'm going to go out of my way to target at his current ADP. Hopefully, you're in a situation like Matt over here, where your draft was before Lamar Miller's injury and you got him late, and now you're looking to reap some, you're reaping some rewards of that Lamar Miller injury. But in the long run, is Duke Johnson going to rush for 1,000 yards? Probably not. It's not going to happen. Anyway, we got a couple more here for rapid fire. We're going to talk some quarterbacks. So we've stuck with running backs, talk some wide receivers. Let's talk about Jimmy G. You know, he was supposed to be the heir apparent to Tom Brady in New England. They shipped him off. He had a promising start to his career in San Francisco, won some games after Colin Kaepernick decided to kneel out of those games. And Jimmy G is just a guy I'm not high on, but I'd love to get Matt and Mike's opinion. Look, we're going to head to Matt again because he seems to be everyone we've talked about, you've been optimistic on.
Yeah.
So is this going to be where we get a like that last second shift in direction?
Kind of like Dorian.
With Dorian, yeah, exactly. With Hurricane Dorian, are we getting Jimmy G? What are your thoughts?
When it comes to that entire roster, there's only one guy that I like, and it's Kittle. Jimmy G. I mean, come on, the guy is injury prone. 17 TDs in his career to 8 interceptions. The guy is going to literally have to go out and throw 30-plus TDs, 4,000 yards to be productive. He's just not going to do that. I honestly look at Jimmy G at this point as an above-average game manager. And I know that sounds ridiculous because everybody's so high on the mighty 49ers, you know, but Jimmy G is one of the most overrated quarterbacks that I've ever seen. He's the most overrated quarterback this draft in fantasy. Overrated is pretty harsh because you get him at a value. He's a little banged up from last year, but slow in the preseason, 5 straight picks in practice. I know you don't want to put too much stock in that, but coming off the injury, he's more of like a guy you take.
He's like a Popeye's chicken sandwich.
He's a Popeye's chicken sandwich in a world full of Chick-fil-A sandwiches. He could be good, but when you have the Chick-fil-A, it's like, do you really want the Popeye?
Do you want to stoop that low? Mike, what are your thoughts on Jimmy G this year?
You know, Jimmy G's really interesting.
Kerryon Marie.
I was going to bring up Kerryon Marie. He's out there going on dates with porn stars. He's getting hurt. I think Jimmy G could be the NFL comeback player of the year. He's got Kyle Shanahan as his fucking.
Wait, I thought it was Shady.
Every player is a comeback player.
I think you got Shady, you got Jimmy G. I think both of them have. You got the AFC comeback player of the year, and the NFC comeback player.
The only comeback in his life is coming on the back of a porn star. Seriously,
Kerryon Marie. Listen, if you don't know who she is, look her up. Just because
the guy got hurt, just because the guy's out there slinging dick to porn stars. Does that mean? And how can you say he's the most overrated quarterback you've ever seen? He's only played how many games?
Because the hype at this point the hype's too much.
They paid him, bro.
It's not his fault. You know, he looked pretty good last preseason game. That was a good step moving forward. I think that with John Lynch as a GM and the stability they now have, I think that Jimmy G is going to be pretty damn good this year.
John Lynch is off to a brutal track record as a GM. I mean, come on. He cannot pick anybody. Sullivan Thomas.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? Who's the other guy they got on the D-line?
DeForest Buckner. Yeah. Well, Buckner's all right. He's a run stopper. Here's the thing, man. Jimmy G, I'm not sold on him. I look at his ADP and I don't understand
Listen,
it.
I'm not going to pick him. There's other quarterbacks I would rather wait on. But if you want to pick Jimmy G, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. You know, the upside is there. The hype is there, but with hype, there's upside. And I think he can put up the numbers.
Josh, what do you think his best case scenario is?
Well, here's the thing, man. If you're in a one quarterback league, you don't give a fuck about Jimmy Garoppolo. You've probably already paused this video, turned it off, loaded up some Pornhub, and beat your meat to the girl that he's fucking.
Kerryon Marie.
With that being said, if you're in a super flex or 2 quarterback league, Jimmy G may be a viable option with you. Yeah,
you can flex.
But here's the thing. I look at his ADP, I see guys like Darnold and Matt Stafford being drafted after him, and I don't understand it. Yes, Matt Patricia to the left of me over here, they changed their offensive scheme, they ran the ball more, and Matt Stafford isn't the sexy quarterback that he once was, but he's at least a proven commodity. all I see from Jimmy G is his proven ability to not stay on the field. I like Sam Darnold this year. I think he was a guy drafted 3rd overall. The Jets added a bunch of weapons. I think he's a guy that has some sleeper appeal. I'd rather have Stafford simply because he's steady Eddie. In that same range, you got guys like Derek Carr getting drafted. Now, Derek Carr kind of rubs me the wrong way. If you guys watch Hard Knocks, you'd understand. The no sleeves with the lotion. I mean, that guy is brutal. But honestly, I put him in the same tier as a Derek Carr. Jimmy G is not appealing to me. And here's the thing. How many quarterbacks are viable in fantasy football without a true number one receiver? Who is his number one receiver? Dante Pettis? Marquise Goodwin, who's qualifying for the Olympics in Beijing? I like Deebo Samuel. I think Deebo Samuel's a guy that has a little bit of upside, but he's a rookie. Outside of George Kittle, who obviously is their best target, I don't know who's going to be that productive in the passing game there.
I'm just a big Kyle Shanahan fan. I think he's an offensive
Kudos.
genius, and I think that his system can cater to the guys that he has, and it all depends on Jimmy G and Kittle.
To be fair, Nick Mullins was out there. Arguably had the number one undrafted rookie quarterback season in NFL history. So
I think Kyle Shanahan's legit, and if Jimmy G's legit and it works out, who knows if potentially it can happen.
Well, right now he's being drafted in 2 quarterback leagues. His ADP right now is 7.982, being drafted ahead of guys like Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, Derek Carr, Sam Darnold.
I'll take Allen over him too, man.
I just feel like the guys, I take Josh Allen, Carr, and Darnold over him. I don't like Matt Stafford. I know he's my quarterback, but I just don't like him. And for that reason why I just feel like the hype is kind of putting his ADP a little higher than it should be. And he just doesn't do it for me. But I do like his taste in porn stars.
I bet you do. Considering the fact that your sex tape is non-existent,
Yes.
Let's fucking move on, dude. Who's going to really give a shit about what the 3 of us in Florida during a hurricane has to say about Jimmy Garoppolo, who right now, I got to be honest, I'd trade my life for his. So let's move on to
He's
our...
a good-looking guy.
If you're gay, if you like guys, which Matt, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. You're a little bit sensitive. Let's move on.
I'm a straight man. I can say he's handsome. Dude, honestly, that's a handsome guy.
Jimmy J, he looks the part. If you stumbled across this podcast, have no idea, for whatever reason, have no idea about fantasy football, look up Jimmy J. Find him more, outside of Julian Edelman, nobody is more handsome than Jimmy J in the NFL. It's Julian Edelman, number 1, not even close, then Jimmy J, a close second.
Gay. We're moving on, dude. So we're going to play a little bit of Would You Rather. And today's topic, for those of you that have not participated in your fantasy draft, this actually might be beneficial to you. I think most of the shit that we've talked about today has really been not useful at all. If you're watching this, you probably gained nothing out of it, except for maybe a little bit about Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. But would you rather go running back at the later end of the draft, so like a second-tier running back, like a James Conner, Dalvin Cook type Joe Mixon, or would you roll with a higher-tier wide receiver like a Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas, Matt? What do we got?
I'm going easy with the running back because every year wide receiver is a little deeper. It could be a creeper on the waiver wire. If you're weak at pass catchers, usually the easiest to get through with waivers. But running back's really not the case. I like wide receivers like Mike Evans and Juju. Well, Juju, not really, but Mike Evans is a guy who I think is just as good as the Michael Thomases and the Odells. And he's a guy you think you could get in the latter end of the second round. But the James Conners and the running backs, I think, just hold more volume and consistency. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the running backs. Might have.
One too many Rolling Rocks. Anyway,
Seriously.
it's nice to see that you're drinking high class beer. What was that, like $12 for a 24
No,
pack?
Family Dollar 18 pack everywhere. Family Dollar's everywhere. $9.50 for an 18 pack of Rolling Rock.
Well,
Like I said,
yo, shout out Family Dollar. Honestly, if you ain't ever worked there before in your life, then you privileged.
I worked at Family Dollar. I worked at Family Dollar. No, which one? Yeah.
Family Dollar.
We went to Dollar.
both worked at
Dollar
Family
General has a sale.
I took a bunch of kids were coming in and getting high off of cough and cold.
The
Triple C,
And I would always like rip them like a bunch of fucking losers. And I was having a bad shift one time. I got transferred like to the neighboring town, Family Dollar, so I didn't really know the employees. I was nervous. It comes with 2 things of pills. I took half one, didn't feel nothing. 5 minutes later, I was like, I took the whole sheet. And then I was like, fuck, I'm not feeling nothing. I counted my drawer.
Coming from a perk feed.
I took like 1.5 of the fucking entire box. And I was like, wow, these kids are losers. It doesn't do nothing. I fucking drive it home, dude.
Bro, I used to
I'm
take
driving.
fucking Triple C's to high school. I used to steal them from my fucking dollar store I worked at as a general manager. I used to fucking pop them every single fucking day, bro. You ain't shit. Triple C.
My whole body went cold. My whole body went cold, lightheaded, the fucking blue streaks, the fucking street signs were blue.
You got that black rhino.
It was similar side effects of my fucking dick pill I got at the gas station. It was the last time I had sex in Delphia's parking lot. I got a dick pill.
When the first Bush was in office.
Yeah.
This was when Ron just got elected. And I thought it was called Black Panther or AK Rhino or some shit. And it fucking worked, dude. It worked, dude, but I was like, fuck. I was seeing these blue streaks.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, man. I've never had a gas station dick pill, but players are popping for that now, apparently. Like, I'm pretty sure your boy Julian Edelman, who you proclaimed as the #1 sexiest guy in the NFL,
He's good looking.
He popped for PEDs, and I think he blamed it on the black rhino.
Yeah.
With that being said, like, does that provide girth? Is it a Viagra?
No, I honestly think it doesn't add the girth or any extra centimeters that you would hope for.
It just get hard after a couple nights after
But
drinking.
when you're sipping, you're drinking, you're a little nervous.
You're driving home, nothing's open, but the gas station on the fucking
You know?
corner. You go in there, you kick the fucking door down and say you want a dick pill.
Half of it's just a placebo. It just gives you that self-esteem that
No, bro, they
that
fucking
I
work.
needed.
They fucking work.
They legit work. But I think that the side effects aren't fully tested yet. And honestly, I took over 6 of them. I'm hoping that I won't have any long-term side effects. Not that it would matter.
Triple
but
C's and dick pills. Man.
would I go back to it? Honest to God, next time I go out on a date and I'm ready to have sex again, I'm going right back to one of those dick pills. I'm not sure which brand. I would have to do research because every time I got one, I was drunk. I just picked one with the coolest name, but I'm actually going to do some research.
This is depressing.
Next podcast, maybe I'll review the dick pill that I ultimately did.
Look,
Maybe pick up a sponsorship from a dick pill.
Yep.
Yeah, Black Rhino, if you're out there watching.
AK-47 Rhino, hit me up.
Yeah, hit us up. Honestly, we're looking for sponsors. Mike, man, what are you doing? You taking that second tier running back, or are you going with a wide receiver?
So are we talking like, I mean, obviously Devontae's not going to be there. You're talking about the guys like
Odell Beckham, Julio, Michael Thomas.
Wide receiver.
I'm going Julio all day out of those running backs, and maybe Tyreek Hill. So in that position, I'm either going Julio or Tyreek Hill. I mean, I was on Twitter, and I just started following Tyreek Hill, and he posted a picture of him and the wide receivers, and he had his shirt off. The dude's built like a fucking war tank. He runs like a fucking cheetah. I don't want to hear.
That's his fucking Twitter name, Cheetah. No
I don't want to fucking hear no baby beating jokes. We all know what he did. But the dude was the #1 scorer in our fucking league last year, and he fucking went 17th overall. Dude, embarrassing. So I would pick a guy like Julio or Tyreek Hill over a guy like James Conner, who I do like. I just think that they have way more upside. And what other running backs are going around there? Like Nick Chubb. I do like Nick Chubb. But I I just would rather have a guy like Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones. It's unpersonal. I think you can't go wrong. It's just a matter of how you want to do it in the back end. But yeah, I prefer those guys over the running backs that are going right around there. So keep it short and sweet.
I respect that. I mean, this is a difficult one for me. I am someone who tends to lean running back, and that's burned me in the past. Last year I had Dalvin Cook on my roster, who obviously got hurt. What else is new? I think it all kind of depends on, you have to own up to who you are as a fantasy owner. If you are someone that puts an emphasis on in-season management, and you know that you're going to be the first to hit the waiver wire when guys get hurt, then you do have the ability to take a second-tier running back over a top-tier wide receiver. If you're not the most active owner, then maybe you should lean to a Julio Jones, Michael Thomas. The wide receiver position is less prone to injury. And with that being said, there's less risk in taking one of those guys. And those guys are going to put up the numbers. But with that being said, man, James Conner had a hell of a year. I think it all comes down to your personal preference. You know, if I'm sitting in the back of the first round, I like James Conner, but I don't necessarily love a Joe Mixon. I think the Bengals' offense is going to be fucking terrible this year. So if James Conner's on the board, I take him. If James Conner's not there, I'm not going to consider Joe Mixon. I'm going to go after a guy like Julio Jones or Michael Thomas because it's the safer option. I think this really comes down to personal preference. However you feel as an owner, as far as your ability to kind of bring yourself out of the gutter if you end up in that situation, has a huge impact on the decision that you make, especially in the first round, because honestly in the first round, there's guys that you like, there's guys that you don't like. So it's not as simple as just saying, hey, I'm going to take a running back. You should never just draft for position. That's how you lose in fantasy football. If you're sitting there at the back end of the first round and you see running backs going off the board and you're like, oh, I have to hop on the running back train, well, guess what? Now you're overvaluing that position when you probably should have went left when everybody else went right and grabbed a wide receiver. So those are my thoughts on it. And the only other thing that I have to say at this time is I've never taken Black Rhino or AK-47 or Yellow Jacket. It's not something that I need at this time as a 28-year-old.
You're a married man.
Yeah.
Your sex tape's like a fucking...
Bro, I don't want to hear it. When you're fucking
Reruns.
downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're fucking drunk,
I just want to
You got
get
a girl.
viewers to know.
you want to lay down the pipe, you're a little insecure about the way you fucking lay down the pipe.
It gives you the fucking
Pop
self-esteem
that fucking
boost
gas
you
station
need.
fucking pill,
Listen,
bro.
when you're working average at best, you just need that fucking kick.
Well, look, none of us in this room are going to be even JUCO level running backs. You feel me? You're talking about a couple white guys. Maybe we could be a slot receiver.
You're listening to
That's
this.
our highest potential.
I'm not gonna sit here on this podcast in front of all of our viewers and subscribers and let you rip apart my athletic ability. I was a first team all conference fucking outfielder. Dude,
high school.
Dude, I was playing baseball 2 years of my life. Junior year, I was a stud, more of a base stealing specialist. Coach gave me the full-time, kind of like Duke Johnson. Coach was like, you're the featured guy now, and I fucking took it and ran. Batted leadoff, 2 home runs, first team all conference, broke my school record with fucking like 36 stolen bases in 4 fucking games.
Dude.
36 stolen bases in 4 games is not possible.
Our fucking,
With that
our
being
fucking
said,
team, our team went on and lost 24 games that year. We did not win a single game, and I was a senior captain.
Acting fucking cringe.
But Captain Cringe, listen, were you ever part of a fucking team that great?
that great?
Listen, first team all conference on an 0-24 team, and I happen to lead.
Matt, you were the Ichiro Suzuki of the baseball team. And I say that because
That is
what
the
you were known for was going to an Asian massage parlor and getting your back stroked off
Dude,
with some extra pine tar.
dude, honestly, I sent you guys the screenshots. That Asian massage parlor.
Alright, dude, yeah. None of that.
All right, well, they hit me up. They got good deals.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Robert Kraft just got busted
Lulu.
like an hour away from here. Mike, let's move on to the next topic. Fuck it, we're beating a dead horse at this point.
There's more topics?
It's a category 5, so we got 5 categories for you.
What category are we on?
We're on category 5.
The most dangerous one.
This is called Tell Me a Secret. Nothing to do with massage parlors, dick pills, how you may or may not feel towards people of the LGBTQ community.
So this isn't football related?
This is football related. It has nothing to do with real life. But if you want to, bro, if you're trying to put it out there and let us know about how you personally feel.
What if I have a confession?
Tell me a secret.
Lay on the fucking table.
Put it out there, bro. Tell me a secret, bro. Typically, this is in reference to a player that you love or hate, and you're trying to keep it on the down low.
Okay.
But if you want to make it personal, go ahead, man. You kept it personal in the Fuck, Marry, Kill It. You said Kerryon Johnson's ass looking sweet.
I'm here.
So, tell me a secret. Tell me a secret.
Well, you're lying.
I'm sorry,
No.
All right,
I'm here starting all secrets that you keep.
All right, we're going to go to Matt then, because Mike's
When you're
still shot.
talking in your sleep.
Matt, tell me a secret, bro. What are your thoughts, dude? Tell me a secret. Player that you love or a player that you hate. Try to keep it on the DL if you're from Atlanta and you're married and you fuck guys on the DL.
So, there's a player that I love that I don't want nobody to know about.
Yeah.
Not even our thousands of our viewers here.
If we ever had 1,000 viewers.
We will. All right, so the guy that I like that I really don't want anybody to know about is Travis Kelce.
What? He's the top tight end going off the board, bro. Everybody knows about Travis
Well,
Kelce.
I mean, that answer was specific to our recent draft. I'm not going to get into it.
What a way to
drop some Travis Kelce knowledge for our viewers.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, I'm probably going to edit that Kelce bit out, okay? The person that I do hate is Kerryon Johnson. We already talked about him. But I just don't like Kerryon Johnson.
Well, you're like on a school shooting spree. If the school had nothing but Kerryon Johnsons in the school, you'd walk in with your Unabomber beard and blow that shit up.
I'm just going to say, this category, I did not bring the fire. I was a little weak, but I'm a little uncomfortable with where this conversation is.
Go yourself. Mike, what you got for me, dog?
Kerryon Johnson. Is he a brother? Or is he a cornball brother? But no, my secret is I love Devontae Freeman. I know a lot of people are a little in between on him here. You don't know how to feel about Devontae Freeman. I'm here to tell you that he is going to be the NFL comeback player of the year. He got hurt last year. Now he's in this Atlanta offense. He's on this Atlanta offense. I'm 28 years old. This dude's younger than me. He's still relatively young for an NFL running back in the years of the prime where the running backs are supposed to hit their stride. He's got Matt Ryan who's not fucking slowing down. He's got Julio Jones. You know who's on the fucking offense. I don't have to tell you. I think with no Tevin Coleman, he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to fucking make Atlanta not regret keeping him. And I think they made the right decision, and they're going to go back to their roots, and he's going to be a workhorse back. He's going to stay healthy, and he's going to have a monster year. And where you can grab him, he was picked before I was able to get Aaron Jones. He went before me. Aaron Jones was the reason. Devontae Freeman, if he was there, I would have picked him over Aaron Jones. That's how high I am on Devontae Freeman. So with that being said, that's the secret love I have for this year's fantasy football season.
And make Atlanta great again, MAGA. I feel it.
Now listen. I brought the weak sauce. Before you go, secret player that I like, Breida.
All right.
He's going to be the best back on that team. I know I kind of bashed San Fran earlier by saying Kittle's the only guy on that roster I would ever rely on fantasy production from, but Breida is a late round guy. McKinnon's toast. Coleman.
Always hurt.
More of a one-trick pony in a sense where he's just more of a receiving back. I think Breida, if he can stay healthy, because that's the only thing that's really been, the roadblock for him, taking this game a step above than what it has been. Matt Breida, get him. I think he offers a lot of upside in a crowded backfield.
Yeah, I hear you, and I'm a Matt Breida owner. I definitely like Matt Breida. That being said, my secret player would be Sterling Shepard. And here's the thing with Sterling Shepard, man. Busted thumb, so his ADP's down. He's going to play. The offense sucks. Eli Manning, it's embarrassing that the New York Giants are going to trot him out another year. Bring in Danny Dimes. Bring in Daniel Jones. That being said, man, who the fuck is going to catch the ball for the New York Giants? Obviously, Evan Ingram provides some upside at the tight end position. But you got Golden Tater Tots, your boy, who's suspended for 4 games.
He is brutal.
He's a guy that he relies on volume, man. He needs 100 catches to be significant. He's a slot receiver.
Yards after the catch guy. You need volume. He's going to need that volume.
I look at Sterling Shepard. I think he provides some value because of how late he's being drafted. He is ultimately the number 1 receiver for the New York Giants. He was a second-round pick, was productive in college. He's played the second fiddle behind Beckham. Obviously, OBJ and his curly-headed ass is going with the fucking peroxide blonde curls.
Who was the guy they picked up, plagued by drops this year, though? They picked him up. He was on the...
He tore his knee up, I think.
No. They picked him up. I forget what team he was on. I picked him up, honestly...
To the Giants?
The Giants signed a wide receiver. I had him at one point.
Russell Shepard?
No. I'll keep going.
Well, this is the fucking point. They don't have anybody. If somebody's going to catch the ball and take it to the end zone in the Giants offense, I'm going to bet my bottom dollar on Sterling Shepard. I like him. I wasn't able to draft him in the league that we are in. But with that being said, he's a guy that I feel as though is being slept on. And you know what? At the end of the day, the Giants are going to suck. They're going to suck dick this year, man. They're going to be fucking terrible. Obviously, Saquon's going to get his, but they're going to be losing a lot of games. They're going to be in passing down situations. I expect a lot of garbage production
Cody Lattimore.
Cody Lattimore, 3rd-round pick out of Indiana, cut from the Broncos. Yeah, Cody Lattimore.
Played by drops all season. He had some type of momentum. He was like the number 1 acquired player off the waivers for like a week or so, a couple weeks ago. But he's just dropping everything in practice. So to your point, man.
Yeah, I like Sterling Shepard this year. He's a guy you can get late.
Yeah, the thing about Sterling Shepard, this year we're going to find out what kind of receiver he is. There's no LL. We're going to find out whether he's for real or not. And for real, I don't mean he has to be Julio Jones, but we're going to see if he's a playmaker, whether he's a legit player. It's a big year for him, so I can see where you're coming from. I like that. I like Sterling Shepard this year.
So that is going to wrap it up for today's segment, man. We're going to be spitting out a Wings and Things podcast on a weekly basis here. So tune in, listen to what these fucking jokers have to say, and appreciate y'all.
Listen, wish us luck on this category 5.
Seriously.
Hit us tomorrow, Monday, 2 p.m.
Yeah, we're going to get fucking rocked.
Shutters are up. Podcast with a smash cut. It's a blizzard.